Hello. Thank you so much for joining us on our four-part discussion on value streams. We're going to start with an introduction to value streams, but before moving on to a discussion on different types of value streams, team topologies and design, and organizing around value. My name is Sahil Panikar, and I am honored to co-author and present these sessions with Cindy Van Epps. This is session 1, an introduction to value streams. Like I said, my name is Sahil Panikar, and a little bit about myself is that I am a Safe Program Consultant Trainer 5, or SPCT 5. I started out in my first career as a data scientist with an interest in making better decisions and using the data that we have hidden in our ecosystems to better define our strategies. I got into Agile in 2009 and have been practicing Agile and coaching Agile ever since. I became a SAFE consultant in 2015 and have been transforming large organizations since then. I started off in the federal government before moving on to private industry. I spent a little time in financial services, quite a few years actually, before moving on to healthcare, and then energy and banking. And now I am with a Fortune 100 defense contractor. So all that to say, I have a breadth of experience across industries in implementing cyber physical systems, building large solutions, and agile product delivery. And what that requires, no matter what industry you're in, is a deep understanding of value streams and how to organize and optimize around them. So why don't we go ahead and get started? The first thing you need to know is that value streams are not new. We've been talking about value streams in different contexts for over 50 years. Today, our definitive text on this is Lean Product and Process Development by Dr. Alan Ward, which I would highly encourage anyone to read. It is a bit of a slog, but I find it very interesting and I powered through it, and I think you can too. But what you'll find is that there are some common reasons and themes for seeking value streams. Dr. Ward said helping people create more value on their own is one of the highest forms of respect. And then there are some other quotes that I've included here that are attributed to Mark Twain and Winston Churchill, but I make no claims on the validity of those attributions. But continuous improvement is better than delayed perfection, right? It's better to do and learn and improve than to delay in the hopes that you'll get it right the first time. And however beautiful the strategy, you should occasionally look at the results. And that says a lot about value streams. So what does that mean? Well, a value stream is our primary construct for understanding, organizing, and delivering value. What it really means is that a value stream is a series of steps, people, and processes that deliver a tangible thing, a solution, a service, or a product. There are many components that go into a value stream. We say that a value stream has to be triggered. Something has to kick off that series of steps. In addition, to truly understand how to talk about a value stream, you have to understand what the currency of value your organization has is. And by currency of value, I don't mean money, right? Everybody can measure, how much value did I create by looking at how much money did I make. But it's a much harder conversation to say, what is the value that we offer to our customers, to our end users, and to each other? What is the value that we are trying to create? So our currency of value is that thing that tells us we are achieving a successful outcome. And then people and systems and lead time. Lead time we'll talk about a lot later, but just so you know, it is the total time from trigger to value delivery. as we start talking about value streams, it's important that we start understanding all of the different labels that are associated with value streams out there. People use them sometimes interchangeably, but that's a problem because they do mean different things. And I'm talking about value stream thinking versus value stream mapping versus value stream identification. And they're used in different contexts and for different purposes. So let's start with value stream thinking. That is our top level. Value stream thinking is a mindset that emphasizes optimization and flow of end user value. So it's a mindset. It is not a set of practices. It is not a framework. Value stream thinking is approaching your problems from the perspective of identifying and optimizing our value streams. Value stream thinking allows you to make your internal processes transparent, and it allows you to drive the efforts and spend your time and energy on the efforts that will return the most value back to you. And that could be internal value. It's common in lean thinking to say that time spent at not bottlenecks is time wasted, right? So we can identify our bottlenecks in a system through value stream thinking and ensure that we're eliminating them, right? We're continuously optimizing for flow. And you can see how many benefits value stream thinking offers. It can reduce wait times and improve processing time, right? Processing time is time it takes to complete a value added action, right? Complete a service or to deliver a solution. So lead time is time from trigger to done. Processing time is time from starting work to done. Value stream thinking will also affect your WIP, work in progress, right? The lower we can keep our WIP, the better control we have over our system, the higher quality we'll deliver. And it reduces lead times and cycle times as well, leading to faster market delivery. So going from value stream thinking to an actual practice, we have value stream mapping. This is the one that you're probably most familiar with because this is a lean practice. Value stream mapping is the process by which we lay out a production path. We look at the steps that we go through, the actual tasks involved in delivering a product, solution, or service. And we visualize processing time and wait time and look for opportunities to improve, right? We identify waste, we reduce cycle times, we improve the process by looking for non-value added actions, and we optimize our system. So value stream mapping is a super useful, super detailed practice for fixing a system that needs improvement. We're looking for whole system efficiency, right? Optimizing a single aspect of the system does not change the system unless that is the least efficient part of your system. In that case, you are optimizing for a better whole. And then value stream identification. This is where I'm going to spend a little bit more time because this is where organizations really struggle. There's a lot of documentation out there on how to do a value stream mapping. There's a lot of documentation out there about value stream thinking and the benefits you get. Value stream identification is the hardest part because it's the one part that isn't pure science. It's the one part that isn't just facts and data. Value stream identification is an art. It is an art form as we attempt to design an organizational model optimized for flow of value. So value stream thinking, value stream mapping, and value stream identification all tie to the flow of value because that's what value streams are for. But value stream identification is allowing us to connect our people and our systems and our processes to the flow of value through our system. And so this is where we start to look at, are we actually organized to deliver our currency of value? Do we understand what it is that we exist to do as a business? What is our business purpose? And are we optimized to execute it? And commonly, especially in super large organizations, the answer to that question is no. We're not optimized to deliver value. we're optimized for all kinds of other things. For corporate functions, we're optimized for organizational hierarchy, but we're not optimized for communication or delivery. And so value stream identification is the first step to improving your value stream practices. So as you're starting to think about why do I do this, right? Like I said, it's the first step to improving your value stream practices. Frequently, you take that step because there is a feeling in your organization that your current ways of working are inadequate. You are stifled, you are restricted, you are prevented from collaborating just by policy, by regulatory needs, by organizational tradition. And so you need a way to break through. And so we look for a burning platform, right? We're in trouble and we need help now. Or visionary leadership that can drive the change and be the champion that allows you to overcome organizational resistance. And sometimes we just recognize, hey, if we do this, we're going to have a competitive advantage. I had a client that was world-class in traditional project management practices. They were seriously, if an average company had a successful completion rate of 70%, this company was in the 90s. They were great at what they did, but they recognized that their competitors were organizing around value in a way that builds momentum. So no matter how good you are at what you do, 5 years from now, you're going to be behind the curve unless you can also eliminate the waste and improve your organizational model the way value stream identification enables you to. So as you start thinking about value stream identification and how are we organizing around value, what do our organizational constructs look like that facilitate that flow of value through your system, you just need to know some basic aspects of your value stream. Remember that very first slide I showed that said, what is a value stream? And it had, lead time, it had triggers, steps. Well, this is basically the same thing. You need to put some boundaries on your system. We need to know, who are we? What do we do? Who are we doing this for? What triggers a customer to start off this process that enables us to give them what they need? And then this is a part that most organizations miss. Value is not just measured in a single place. There are actually two separate value components inside a value stream. And if you optimize just for one or the other, you can frequently find that your value stream is incomplete. And so your organization is going to hit a stumbling block rather than gain the efficiencies that you're looking for. So you need to know not only when do I, as the business, receive value? And most commonly, that's when do I get paid? Or how do I make my money for providing this solution, system, or service? But you also need to know, when does the customer receive value? Do they receive value first and then I get paid? Do I have to deliver a product and then I get paid in increments? Am I a bank that offers a loan? And so I don't get any value until that loan has been repaid back with interest, 6 months, 9 months, 2 years later. I need to know when both my value points are, because I need to operate my system so that it efficiently gets me through both value checkpoints. Once we have our boundaries, we can start to dig a little deeper into defining our value stream. And so we have this concept of a development value stream canvas, which we'll revisit in session 2, but I wanted to show it to you here because this is where you can see many of the things that you need to know to build a good understanding of your value streams. You need to know, what is the business process that you support from an operational perspective? You need to know what the purpose of your development value streams are. You'll need to know what solutions you support, the context those solutions operate in, the people and locations, not only that build your systems and support your systems, but that operate your systems as well. Who are the customer segments you serve and what channels do you interact with them through? What relationships do you have? there's a lot of information that goes into divining and designing really a strong value stream, a value stream that understands your currency of value, crosses organizational boundaries inside your organization to ensure that the thing that happens most commonly and most effectively is actually moving value out the door. Value stream identification is not a one-time process. It's not a one-time practice. It is a continuous effort as you understand your market and your customers a little bit better. You deliver products and services. They give you feedback and you continuously improve. And at some point, your market context changes. Your customer needs change and you have to update your value streams, right? Just imagine your Netflix moving from mail order DVDs to online streaming. They recognized a change in the market and their value streams had to change around them, right? They didn't stick with what they had before. And so as long as you are continuously engaging in this process, you will stay optimized for value delivery over time. Who do you need to make this happen? You need everybody. Anyone who has a perspective on how business processes and value flow through your organization. Anyone who participates in the execution of those business processes has a perspective that can be added into value stream identification. You might look for enterprise executives and division leads or program managers. You need legal and compliance and HR. Maybe you have some Agile implementation inside your organization and you need them represented through the enterprise LACE, or LACE being the Lean Agile Center of Excellence, or an APMO. Maybe you have an old school PMO and you need them involved, but you also need technical folks. You need the people who are actually involved in delivering. So you need engineering leads and system architects or solution architects. Maybe you even go all the way down and bring in some developers. That cannot hurt you. It gives you a valuable perspective on the best way to construct your new organizational model. So the last couple things I really want to talk to you about are how do value streams relate to portfolios and product lines and business processes? Because a common question we get aren't value streams just business processes? And the answer is not really. There is a relationship between them because they're both organized around the steps and tasks and people and systems that are required to execute something. But a value stream's purpose is to maximize value delivery to your end customer and to your business. A business process is like a value stream map. It shows you the steps that you go through and gives you details about the most efficient way to do that. A business process is designed to produce a product or service. Value streams are designed to give you the picture of the best relationship, right? Or let me put it in another way. How do you synergize your business process with the people and systems in your business? Through a value stream. You might even say that a value stream is a business process designed to maximize value. And that brings us to portfolios, right? You would never say that a portfolio is made up of business processes. A portfolio could be made up of product lines, but a product line is a set of products that share certain characteristics, right? A value stream is a set of systems, people, and actions that are used to enable value delivery. So we could look at our portfolio either way. But a value stream is not a portfolio. A portfolio is a set of investments. So we have this example of a bank. In this bank, you can see 3 portfolios: consumer banking, corporate banking, and capital markets. you can see horizontally corporate functions like origination and transaction processing and loan servicing. But vertically, inside each portfolio, there is a value stream, right? So inside consumer banking, you have loans. That's a value stream because for a consumer, no matter what type of loan it is, auto loan, home loan, personal loan, we process them the same way. The steps that we go through are the same. Banking or credit cards are value streams because we don't treat a credit card customer and we don't interact with a credit card customer the same way we interact with a loan customer. So value streams make up portfolios. A portfolio being a set of investments and a value stream being one of the ways in which we deliver those investments. So that is the end of session 1. I hope this introduction to value streams was useful to you. Please feel free to follow up with Cindy and myself. Our email addresses are on the screen. We would love to continue this conversation with you and see how we can continue to advance the ideas of value stream management, both in our organizations and yours. Thank you so much, and I'll see you for session 2. Thank you so much for joining us in our 4-part series on value streams. We've concluded session 1, an introduction to value streams. This is session 2, operational and development value streams, or a discussion on the different types of value streams. Sessions 3 and 4 are team topologies and design and organizing around value with Cindy Van Epps. My name is Sahil Panikar, and I'm super excited to have you with me for the next 20 minutes. Since you've probably already watched session 1, I'm not going to go super deep into this. But like I said, my name is Sahil Panikar. I am a Safe Program Consultant Trainer 5, or an SPC T5. I am known for my work in enterprise solution delivery, building large cyber physical systems, and agile product delivery, with some lean portfolio management thrown in there. But I'm here today to continue our discussion on value streams and use my experience to continue to drive forward the way we think about value streams and how we interact with them in our larger organizations. So I'll dive right in and let's talk about the 2 major types of value streams that we see: operational value streams and development value streams. Operational value streams are our top level value streams that we use to deliver a product or service to a customer. They are our reason for existing. They are the business purpose that we fulfill through our processes. I like to describe an operational value stream as the technology agnostic value stream. Imagine that we are a bank and we need to offer a loan to our customer. A customer could walk in and ask me for a loan, and I could take their information, I could underwrite the risk, and I could offer them a loan without using a single piece of technology. That is my operational value stream, providing that loan to that consumer. Then we have development value streams. Development value streams are the value streams that we use to convert our business hypotheses into solutions or services that we use to enable the operation of our operational value streams. So development value streams make our lives easier when fulfilling our business purpose. If I'm an auto manufacturer and I'm building cars and I want to build a assembly factory, a manufacturing plant that auto assembles my car, the manufacturer of a car, from idea to getting it on the lot to sell, is my top level operational value stream. But let's say I want to make it a little easier and I want to build a robot that will assemble the car for me. The building of that robot is a development value stream because it's making it easier for me to operate my top level value stream, which is selling the car. But building, enhancing, and maintaining that robot is still going to require a significant commitment of time, energy, and effort. And that becomes a development value stream. Without getting too deep into the details, in our super complex, super large organizations, we might find top level operational value streams, or OVSs, broken out into value streamlets, where each step of an operational value stream will require an OVS to operate it because it's so complex. Think like building a complex weapon system, or navigation in your vehicle, right? So for auto navigation, you need to build the hardware that goes in your car. You need to build the software that operates on that hardware. You need to build the satellite that they use for GPS tracking and uplink. So all of those things are operated on their own, but then they come together to build a solution. And so I'm not going to get too deeply into that. That is more of an advanced topic, but I wanted to introduce the idea to you that some operational value streams will have value streamlets under them. But for the rest of this session, we're going to simplify things and just consider single operational value streams and development value streams that support them. Before we can get into development value streams, we have to understand operational value streams. Operational value streams represent our business purpose. They're the reason that we exist. And they cross many contexts, right? An operational value stream for manufacturing, or fulfilling an order, or providing a service. And that service could be healthcare, banking, and labor, but it could also be retail. It could be, well, pretty much anything. Any reason that our businesses have to exist, we have an operational value stream that supports it. So you see some examples of simplified operational value streams on your screen. We will dive into some of those in a little bit more detail and how they connect to development value streams that make them a little bit easier. You might recognize this image from session 1. This shows how value streams fit inside a portfolio, but it also goes to show how many organizations have many operational value streams inside them, right? A value stream might tie to a single product or product line. Many value streams comes to a portfolio, and our largest organizations have many portfolios inside of them. Did you know that, for example, American Express owns some farms? That's pretty unique. It doesn't have a lot to do with financial services, but that's a portfolio that exists inside their company. They have travel and lifestyle services that don't get advertised nearly as often as credit cards and loans. But all of these things come together to create an enterprise. But every single one of those portfolios has multiple value streams inside of it. Once you start to understand what your operational value streams look like, you can start to tie them to things like design thinking and customer centricity. Operational value streams are how you fulfill your purpose, but another way to think about it is operational value streams dictate your customer's experience with you. They provide the opportunities for customer interaction, and they manage your customer relationship. So if you can consider tying a customer journey map to your operational value stream, you'll start to see huge wins in user experience and customer experience, as you can look for, okay, during each step of my OVS, what is my customer thinking and feeling? What are we doing? How are we interacting with them? What are the opportunities that we have to change the way we interact with them or to simplify the process? Are there technologies that we can adapt or build or buy that would improve this experience or improve this process? Customer journey mapping is a hugely important aspect of value stream design and value stream thinking because it allows us to understand whether we are fulfilling our business purpose the right way. From there, we can start to think about development value streams, right? They still follow that same core structure from trigger to delivery, but most development value streams follow a simplified define, build, test, release, define, build, validate, release model. And that's because the development value streams build the systems and technologies that we use to operate our operational value stream. So our customer in a development value stream is the operator of the operational value stream. And the trigger is a new feature request capability or opportunity inside of our solution context. As you think about how development value streams fit into our overall value stream ecosystem, you have to know that development value streams are unique, right? We can start to look at the context that they operate inside of. So in a software-enabled service model, development value streams may exist to build some systems. They exist to build some software systems, right? We might have in this example of a bank, a development value stream that's dedicated to building, enhancing, or maintaining our marketing channels, our loan system, and our credit system, and a separate development value stream that builds, enhances, and maintains our core banking system. That's pretty clean. It's pretty straightforward, and that's because it's all software-oriented and virtual delivery. But development value streams are unique to the context of the operational value stream they support, right? And so a software as a service company was pretty straightforward, or a software-enabled services was pretty straightforward. But now consider that auto manufacturer that we talked about earlier. In this context, it's not so clean because we're not just building software that our employees use to interact with the customer. We have to maintain a solution intent that allows us to understand our system through digital twins and modeling. It allows us to look at our decisions through a architectural framework as we start to design and build prototypes, not just digital models, but real physical prototypes that we can manipulate and see whether or not our components are integrating the way they're supposed to. And so we might have a development value stream related specifically to a design platform, and then another development value stream related to the tools that we use to model or the tools that we use to design. You have to understand your operational value stream, and you have to understand how it's operated, who are the people that are using it, right? So in this context, who are the people that are manufacturing our car? Who are the people that are selling our car? Who are the people that are marketing our car? And what do they need to do their jobs easier? How can we build systems to make their jobs easier, right? And so it's easy to focus in on designing the car, right? Because we'll need modeling tools, we'll need we'll need data frameworks, and then as we move forward, right, we get to marketing, we might need to build a marketing tool. We might need to incorporate an already existing marketing tool, but then we'll have to think about, okay, let's say we bought Salesforce. Well, do we have a team dedicated to maintaining Salesforce, or do we outsource that to Salesforce? Those are all kinds of questions that your organization will need to decide for yourself based on your context. And so once you understand your context, you can take your unique operational value stream, the development value streams that tie to it, and configure your development value streams appropriately for that context. So now we have software as a service, right? And in this example, we have some software enabled services, just like we had with the bank. We had our credit scoring system. Well, now we're going to maintain a customer portal and we're going to maintain some customer support systems. And that can all be done through development value streams. We'll also need a development value stream that actually develops the software that we sell, right? Because building the platform, building the tool enables our operational value stream of providing that service. So each organization has a unique context, and that's why this whole organizational model and designing this organizational model and the process of value stream identification is so hard. It's hard because there's no single right answer. It's all about finding the right context for you and your organization. And to make it just slightly more complicated, value streams change over time, right? They're not going to be the same today as they were 6 months ago, as they are 2 years from now, right? The world is changing around us too quickly. We know that based on market events, our organizational context, our solution context change. We know that what we do today is only relevant as long as the market says it's relevant. A best fit today may not be best fit tomorrow. As technologies change, as consumer expectations change, we have to continuously iterate on our value stream design to ensure that we are providing best fit solutions at the right time. We can get into in a little bit of Q&A how we do that and what are some of the tools that we use to do that. Some lean portfolio management practices would be really beneficial to us in this context. Some of the lean budget guardrails would be useful as well. But what we're focusing on here is that value stream identification is an exercise that has to be done at minimum once a year. And I usually encourage a little bit more often than that, every 3 quarters or so, because that allows us to look at, okay, has anything major in our context changed? And as we start to look for that, you need to think about who's going to help you identify what's changed. You need the right people in the room to capture your process, and you need enough time to have all the conversations that you need to have. So stakeholders, operators, and executors of your system are the people that you need. And in practice, people will say you can do this in a day. And yes, you can do it in a day. I agree with that. But I always ask my clients for 2 days, because I know that if we do it in a day, we're going to rush. We're going to sacrifice some conversations that would have been valuable. And we're just not going to get to the outcome that we could have gotten to if we had taken a day and a half or a day and a quarter. So I encourage you to take 2 days to get this right, because if you don't, it's going to take you 3 months to follow up on all the conversations you could have had in day 2. So when you're doing this, and Cindy's going to talk a lot when she gets here about value stream, organizing around value and the team topologies and design, but there are some logistical things that you're just going to need to get done before you can have the conversations you need to have. So first you need to decide, are you doing this in person or are you doing it virtually? If you're going to do it in person, you need space. I cannot stress enough, I will take over a whole wall. I mean, give me 30 feet of wall space, I will take over the whole thing. Give me 50 feet of wall space, I will take over the whole thing, diagramming out your value streams. So you need enough wall space to actually visualize the whole thing. And you want to give yourself enough room to get into some detail. You need sticky charts and you need all the office supplies that make it possible. And if you're going to do it virtually, you got to make sure that you have a good online collaboration tool, because the number of people that you need to do this, it can get really hectic if you're struggling with your conferencing systems. But the other thing that's super important that you need is an online diagramming tool. You need some way of visualizing and manipulating your potential value streams. So I'm not going to, in this context, give you any specific recommendations, but if you are interested, please follow up with me afterwards, and I'll give you some recommendations for online diagramming tools that you could use to run a virtual value stream workshop. Once you're at the workshop, these are the steps you're going to follow. It's pretty straightforward. You identify your operational value stream, you identify the systems that support it, you identify the people that develop those systems, you start to group those peoples and systems into development value streams. And then if you're using the scaled Agile framework, you'll realize those development value streams into Agile release trains or ARTs. I'm going to highlight here that I personally believe there's another step that is worth talking about in between steps 1 and 2. Before you get to systems, I always like to encourage people to look at business processes. So first, what is my operational value stream? What are the business processes, or what are the corporate functions that I need to execute those steps? Then what are the systems that those steps use to operate the operational value stream? The other thing I'll point out to you is that step 4, identify development value streams that build these systems, is critical because it's the first place where you can't immediately know whether you're right or wrong. If you go back, identify your operational value stream, identify the systems, and identify the people, those are facts, right? I can, with enough effort, I can identify an operational value stream. That operational value stream exists, right? I know what the processes are. I know what the steps are that I go through to deliver value. And if I don't know, the people in the room know. What systems do we use? That's a fact. We just have to have the right people to tell us what systems do we use. And who develops those systems? Also a fact. Yeah, we just need to know who they are, right? And again, you're starting to see why the right people in the room are so important, because no one person is going to know all of this. But when you get to number 4 and you start to identify development value streams, we're no longer talking about facts. Now we're talking about organizational constructs and what is the right organizational model for us, right? This is the first place where you get to use your knowledge and your understanding of your context to design a solution. So as you're doing that, consider coordination and dependencies, or epic distribution and WIP, work in progress, or organizational change impact, right? So these are the 3 major categories of what do I need to think about as I group people and systems into development value streams. A development value stream being a tightly coupled group of people around a specific set of systems that are going to support our operational value stream. And I say tightly coupled, not in the architectural context, but in these systems and these people go together, right? And so as you start to say, all right, I want system A and system B together, is that the right approach? Well, think about, okay, what kind of coordination would that require? Does that streamline things for me, or does that introduce, 6 extra handoffs that we wouldn't have if I put system A and system C together instead, right? And so you start to think through, okay, how do I actually flow value through this system? How do I actually flow a solution through this system? And in your context, right, if you'll remember our value stream canvas, right, this is how we start to identify the context and the depth of our development value streams. We can start to look at, okay, coming out of a workshop where I have brought all these people together and we started to identify the process. We started to identify who belongs in the same room, who should work together on a daily basis or a near daily basis to optimize the flow of our solution, our service, our product through our system. Here are the things highlighted in orange that I would expect you to know coming out of your workshop, right? Budget, KPI, and the economic framework, you may not know coming out of your value stream workshop. That's okay. You'll figure that stuff out. You'll have the right conversations. But coming out of the workshop, we should be able to understand, okay, what operational value stream are we supporting? What is the value proposition of this development value stream we've created? What are the solutions And in what context do we use those solutions? What people and locations support this development value stream? What customer segments? How do we interact with them? What channels do we use? And what relationship do we have with that customer? You should be able to answer all of those questions coming out of your value stream identification. And so hopefully this has helped you to start thinking about the difference in the relationship between operational value streams that execute your business purpose and development value streams that support the enablement of your operational value streams. So thank you so much. Once again, my name is Sahil Panikar in partnership with Cindy Van Epps. Please feel free to contact either of us if you would like to discuss this further, or you want to tell me that I'm crazy and I got it all wrong. I'm open to having that conversation, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. So thank you again, and feel free to reach out.